We're a collective of veterans using stand-up comedy to recover from military trauma. So be afraid. Be very afraid. Seriously, we're only here for two reasons: to aid our recovery and make you laugh in the process. We suffer with a range of military-related disorders that impact our short-term memories and lead to massive anxiety. So be prepared to see a few comfort blankets in the form of notes in our hands or on the stage. Just a note, we are all combat qualified, so laughing is highly recommended for your own personal safety. So I want you all to go wild, please. Could you all go wild for our first act of the evening, the dark soul of Project Comedy, the man that is the only Army officer on the stage tonight. It is Mr. Gabriel Murphy!
Now, can you all hear me at the back here? Good stuff. Anyone having any difficulty with the accent, come and see me after. Subtitles cost a fiver. Yeah, so I appreciate with the accents and everything, it doesn't really match the face, does it? I look like a bag of spuds that's been left out in the rain. And probably what would be considered as the thing that you would get if you had Brian Blessed, Shag, Charles Bronson. Yeah, and when I was obviously in the army, the British one, not the one with the balaclavas. Anybody not really getting that joke? Back in the 80s and the 90s, that joke was the bomb. It was always easy to find out whose parents were in the IRA as well as a kid. Because, you know, you'd be in school and the teacher would be like, what's A for? Apple. What's B for? Banana. What's C for? Fighting oppression. Yeah, when I was in the army though, you had to tour the world with the army, but to all the really shit places. You know, like Rio de Janeiro is not going to be kicking off with anyone anytime soon, are they? Needless to say, Basra doesn't have a 5-star TripAdvisor rating. When I was in the army as well, I was always picked as the enemy. Stereotypes, isn't it? It's mad altogether that I don't know whether I should be quite proud of the fact I was pretty good at it. Mad altogether that I've got PTSD from my army days, but fuck all from my terrorism days. Scotty was there pretending to be Jerry Adams, rubbing me back on. It's alright, Harry, it's all of course. Got fucked all and kissed me ass, not fucked all off the Queen. It's kind of handy that she died though before all this energy crisis, isn't it? Because she'd walk around like the £5 note now. The army's idea of aftercare when I was in the army was a steady bar in the wardrobe. Didn't think I'd have to hang around for a laugh off that one. It is mad though, I did try to top myself one time. Turns out I'm just a fat cunt and I've got a bit of a thing for autoerotic asphyxiation apparently. It was the best and weirdest wank I've ever had. And in that post-masturbation clarity, guys, you get that, don't you? In that bit of clarity there, I realised that I was semi-suicidal. It kind of means that, like, occasionally I don't want to be alive anymore, but I'd rather someone else did it for me. And if anyone's noticed as well, I'm sitting down. It's not because I'm confident or anything, it's just because I'm a lazy cunt. Yeah, the army's left me with a deep-seated hatred for acronyms. I can't understand them. Like, just say what you mean to say. Like, LED headlights, you know what LED stands for? I can see, but you're fucking blinded. Anybody know what HDMI means? Don't all shout out at once. Or is it the accent? Now, HDMI means it's a SCART lead upgrade. Do you know what SCART lead means? Aerial upgrade. And do you know what aerial means? We're shit at doing TV stuff, so we start making clothes clean. Now, with the whole acronym stuff, you know, LGBT stuff, I thought we would be safe to do this in Brighton. you know, shortening down the LGBTQAIISZYXWV, shortening that down to LGBT plus was great. It was fantastic for me. Makes it sound like a TV channel though, doesn't it? Oh shit, I've missed out on Drag Race. Go! Just catch it up on LGBT plus one. My daughter came out to me fairly recently. She said, I didn't know how to tell you because I didn't know whether you'd be proud of me. And I said, the only things that I wouldn't be proud of you for is if you were a nonce. Or if you voted Conservative. And I can forgive the nonsense. No, but I said to her as well, like I said, it's a fair, I had a fair idea that you were a lesbian because, and she goes, how? I was like, well, every single time that we played rock, paper, scissors, you'd always pick scissors. You know, the signs were there. I told her as well, like, I thought I'd be quite a good gay fella for the last couple of years now. I thought I'd be a really good gay fella. Because I've got hemorrhoids and that, it'd be like a texture thing, wouldn't it? Yeah, for the straight fellas, that would be like shagging a girl who's got warts and picnic crabs. Can I say that was fantastic groaning? I'm clearly not used to that kind of groaning. The gay stuff. I'm sure I had another gay one. Oh, that was the other one. Obviously, being a Catholic kid, I've got a bit of experience with the gay stuff. Because obviously I got fingered by a priest. It's kind of where I think the whole Catholic and the Protestant thing came about. Because there's us getting like sexually abused by the priests, while the Protestants were off getting fucking Kit Kats and stuff. We just got trauma. And cure the sins. It's kind of funny, isn't it, how rape's only really funny when it's a Catholic schoolboy and a priest. Outside of that, it's not really a funny thing. Unless you can imagine some of the politicians now, they can make that be funny. Couple of nasty groans. Although I did say though that I'm very proud of my daughter. My stepdaughter, not so much. I call her my little ginger bundle of shame. Because she's 7 years old and she's a fucking dickhead. And my missus keeps on saying like, oh, why don't you say something, you know, that she's really good at? You're the best at ruining my sex life. Now I've had to have a CRB check. You know what CRB means? Not a nonce. So I'm carrying this fucking CRB around like it's a fucking shield. Right, I'm only hanging around with this 7-year-old because it's legit. In the hopes that her mum will suck my dick. Because I'm a nice guy. No, I do think that they're the only, the fellow that, when I was doing all that, the fellow behind McDonald's was like, that's a strawberry milkshake with your Happy Meal, yeah. I've always thought like the only way that I would be proud of my stepdaughter is if they made like the Paralympics. Because physically she's embarrassing. Like fucking Stephen Hawking could throw something further than that. And he's fucking dead. Like we haven't got anything diagnosed, but I can take it down there to the tryouts and I'll be just see her run. That was being like, oh fucking hell, she's fucked. Did take her on holiday to Spain though. And I saw a dodgy fellow looking by the pool, wasn't sure whether he was Spanish or Mexican. That kind of dodgy, you know what I mean? So we were kicking her over to him. I said, Jesus, I hope someone does it with cannons. Motherfucker brought it back in 3 minutes. That's how annoying she is. I didn't even get time to have a celebratory point. I do joke about everything, like, you know, I do love my family. As much as, like, I am not a fucking catch. Like I said, I do look like a cross between, if someone's actually said this is how attractive I am, I'd look better with my head upside down. People would think that I would look better talking out of my fucking forehead, my nose upside down, and my eyes on my chin. The only other thing that I could think of that is that I'd look like the negative version of Don King. No, but I do laugh at my joke, and I mess around saying that, I do love my family, and you all should love your families. And if anything's taught us anything out of this COVID thing, you should be there with your families. And that's also brought up to the big thought that in Hollywood there's this horrible racist thing where all the incest girls are running for white people. So everyone put your hands in the air if you're against racism, put your fists in the air for me. A couple of years before racism, is it? And stand in there now and shout, black incest now. Because I'm not happy about having all the monopoly on incest roles for white people. It's been too long. Let's have a black fella fuck his biological brother up the arse. And with that lovely note, as you take a drink, I'm going to pass you on to the next fellow now, a lad called Jamie Johnson. He's a member of the RAF. He's a very posh fella. You'll have to be nice to him. If he's turning up, he'll be turning up late. So can I all get you to put your hands together for Jamie Johnson, please?
Cheers, guys. Keep it going. Thanks a lot. Cheers. I mean, I love stand-up comedy because where else could you have somebody get a round of applause just from walking from point A to point B? Unless it's a politician off a plank. I've just realised I am on second of 3 veterans, so I am literally the shit in a shit sandwich. But I hope you'll think that I am the best dressed shit you're gonna see this evening anyway. So the name's Johnson. Like the baby lotion, not that sad excuse for an ex-PM. I only lied to my wife, not the entire UK. He was that good. He convinced the country, for the first time in history, to impose economic sanctions on its freaking self. But I do find I turn into a politician when I go on holiday to Greece. Why do I find myself turning into Nigel Farage every time I go away? No. I don't mean wanting to deport all the foreign hotel staff. It's just that I have to spend half an hour listening to the same thing in 10 different languages just to get my room number. I wanted somewhere off the beaten track. I got a cross between Colditz and Arkham Asylum. The hotel receptionist was trained by the Hitler Youth. You get a warmer reception crossing the Ukraine front line. Or Prince Andrew at a children's party. AKA Nonces Anonymous. That guy, he'll get you an express pizza delivered, no sweat. Literally. How about with the hotel meals? Well, they made 3 school lunches seem like 5-star hotel dining. I mean, I'm ex-RAF, so I'm something of a subject matter expert on 5-star hotels. I wouldn't touch a 3-star. I mean, what the fixed tuna mayonnaise anyway? I used to throw away the caviar on toast. We had Jamie Oliver outside on the picket line just demanding we got better rations. We wanted designer rooms. Shame the design concept was Alcatraz. Even the bathrobes were in orange. We ended up in cell block H, getting pegged flew up my cuckoo's nest. The bath towels are like Brillo pads. And the taps had both hot and cold running dysentery. Lights out was at 10 p.m. sharp. And if you got caught breaking the curfew, they subjected you to double rations the following breakfast. The TripAdvisor scores for the hotel were so poor, they didn't even show up on Rishi Sunak's radar. Suella Braverman, well, she was busy organising boat trips away from the island for the locals. The evening shows, they were so repetitive, I've now passed a citizenship test in Greek. The wannabe bluecoats were so bad, they were even rejected by Hollyoaks. I mugged the soup, by the way, on the last night. Mind you, I am a swine for hotel souvenirs. The bluecoats were as wooden as a 15th century dildo. The disco, that was run by Eurovision, but without the budget or the talent. Every second song was by Jason Derulo. Has anybody, quick show of hands, anybody heard of Jason Derulo? I hadn't. And I just thought that Jason Derulo was Greek. But this next song is shit. I was hoping Black Lace would turn up, just to freshen things up a bit. Aga do, more like Aga don't. Am I right? Oh nice, thanks, you guys like puns, that's good. I had to smash the plates over my head just to end the monotony. And my wife, bless her, she had to hide all the broken crockery just to stop me committing suicide. I got night terrors by the time I checked out. The only time they'll get me back in that hotel is if they employ me as staff. I work in construction, so I know how to get my hands dirty, but not in an anal fisting type of way. But then I realised that Rod Hull is my hero. So the next time you see me, I may have my hand up a dummy's arse. That does explain the vacant look on Michael Gove's face, by the way. It's about time someone buggered him, although I would have to remove Rishi Sunak's hand first. I guess I'm just going to stay here now until like a junior doctor, until I get a decent wage. You guys are being quite tolerant though tonight. You're more tolerant than a politician on a picket line or a Brexiteer at Dover. Yeah, I'd love to taste success. I've not known success. I mean, I was in the RAF. I wasn't a sexy Royal Marine. I wasn't a brave paratrooper. I wasn't even a freaking pilot. And I'm married. 11 long years. You can count the rings under my eyes, by the way. And there's no winning in marriage for the man. Me and the wife, we're an odd couple. I'm 45, she's 43. I'm glad to see the school system in Brighton is working. It's great. Thank you. I'm always right. She's always wrong. We're in a binary relationship. I've got a one-track mind. She's got 7 reasons why I haven't. If she had one more, that'd be octal. You've got to be a geek to get that one, to be fair. Have we got any live action role players in the audience? I know that's a niche. No? Okay. So it's just me then that used to run around a big field with my massive chopper, and then I'd pull out my foam axe. Okay. Other hobbies of mine. Well, when I met my missus, she told me she was into swinging. Unfortunately, it was the garden variety. On a second date, she told me she was into water sports, but I needn't have worried, because she's a squirter. But I've got OCD and it plays havoc with the laundry. So we've got a 10-year-old daughter, and she's got the poshest of all hobbies, pony riding. Which means me picking up all the horse poo. I'm literally paying to be a peasant. So could I please implore you to please tip at the end, because I've got to pay the Baron's taxes. Quick show of hands, who's got dogs? Good. How much would you pay someone to pick up your dog muck? Apparently, my daughter says, picking up poo is my privilege. Like I say, I've got OCD. Can you imagine me in the House of Commons? How much crap gets dropped in there? I'd be there all year. It'd be like painting the Forth Rail Bridge. It'd be easier trying to get a Russian athlete to pass a drugs test. So anyway, about the wife. She's got a short fuse. She's got a short temper. But she's got a long memory. We've got a bit of a love. We haven't got a love-hate relationship. We've got a love-love relationship, and I think that's really rare these days. I love my wife with all my heart. She loves me to piss off to your mothers, you prick! Lovely soul. So anyway. A few months ago we said we'd try couples therapy. Went to a place called Relate. I didn't like it. The only thing I could relate to was the counsellor. I tried to let them know that I wanted to leave, but I didn't give any indication. It was like I was a BMW driver. Nothing drives me madder than an angry motorist. So, sometimes my wife drives me around. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, she lets me sit inside the car. So anyway, any of you guys go to gigs? Music, yeah? It's a lot louder than comedy. So I've seen a few bands. I've seen Genesis, Pink Floyd, Till the Verve. Didn't like them. The drugs don't work. I also saw Five. Don't think you should knock Five. I mean, how can you be upset with a band who's named after the collective IQ of the group members? I remember I took an ex to meet them once in Woolworths, but the seats were crap because we got them out the pick and mix. Now, as you can imagine, I'm an ex-serviceman, so I'm very patriotic, but I've got a confliction with the national anthem. The first word, because I'm an atheist. So I just tend to hum. Yeah, it's just got a bit of imposter syndrome. I don't think I should be here. I feel like a conservative in government. But hopefully like them I'm going to leave soon. You didn't have to be so enthusiastic with that one. So, I'll introduce you to the third act of the evening. He's even more mental than me. But that's just Hawk, his canine companion. He's going to be dragged onto the stage. Would you please welcome the amazing Jay Saunders? Big round of applause, guys. Thank you so much.
Right, okay, we better get the obvious thing over and done with first. Can everybody see the dog? You can't thank fuck for that. I thought I was having another psychotic episode. No, that happens to me. I suffer with a condition called complex post-traumatic stress disorder. You know, I see shit that isn't there. As an example, I think I'm well dressed. And when I say I've got PTSD, I mean the real one. Not the one that's trying to claim benefits. You know the kind of people I'm talking about, don't you? Yeah. Oh no, Daddy wouldn't buy me a PS5, I've got PTSD now, get to fuck. No, that's, you know, I keep on having these psychotic episodes where I see shit that isn't there. That's why I checked to see the dog. Because there was a very real chance that I'd forgotten him again. I was just walking around with a possessed lead. There is one thing I don't get though. Can somebody explain to me, why the fuck did they give me a golden retriever doing blackface? I mean, it's either he's a black lab or he's a fucking racist. I mean, I hope he's a black lab, but could you imagine it if we could put, you know, racist on lids? I mean, how fucking cool would that be? Because you'd say exactly the same shit as you do about a badly behaved dog. You just be there going, oh no, I wouldn't let your children play with him. No. Relax, he plays really nicely with other racists. Oh no, relax, there's only 3 types of people he doesn't like. That's postmen, liberals, and that Patel family. No, if he gets out of control, don't worry, I'll muzzle him. I said Muslim, there's no way you can turn a racist into a Muslim. No, Hawk here, he helps me deal with the more significant, horrible parts of having PTSD. Things that people commonly call flashbacks. They're actually called disassociations. Those moments when I re-experience military trauma. Those times I end up reliving those horrible moments of military blood, shit and gore. It's effectively like watching Priti Patel's sex tape. Ironically, the least offensive thing that woman's done in the recent years. I mean, we should be very grateful she called her sex tape blood, sex and gore here. Knowing her, with her recent events and policies, she could have called it Rwanda romps, or buggered in a boat. The other times I have disassociations, you wouldn't notice, I just turn into a zombie. But for me, it's a real pain in the backside because I keep on losing stuff. I mean, I black out, put something down, come to, and I've lost my keys, my wallet, my glasses, my dignity, social respect, sex appeal. There was one time I lost my glasses for 3 freaking weeks, only to find them hanging off the same fucking hook as my soup ladle. Look, it's worse than that. I'm a single old boat gypsy that lives on an old yacht. How often do I make homemade soup? The only way I could see again was by doing an impression of Jamie fucking Oliver. Thankfully, you know, my psychotherapist gave me this great technique to help me in those moments. To find something, all I've got to do is say out loud the name of the thing I'm looking for, rhythmically and vocally. So I'm there going, keys, keys, keys. There are my keys, brilliant. I told this to a mate of mine that's also got PTSD to help him out. He goes, Jay, considering you haven't had sex in so long, why don't you try it on your cock? So I did. I was there going, penis, 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 penis. When I came to, I was in the local conservative club. It's not as bad as the time I tried to find myself a girlfriend by using the C word for lady parts. I was there going, Piers Morgan is never speaking to me again. One of the most common things that happens to me when they see the lead and see the dogs, they go, oh, well, I've got an assistance dog, and I don't mind that. Because the answer's really easy, isn't it? It's because I'm disabled. It's the follow-up that I don't get on with. They go, but you don't look disabled. How the fuck am I supposed to respond to that statement? Am I supposed to be there going, oh, thank you so much, master. I'm so glad I don't look like a spastic. I mean, would you feel more comfortable if I started dribbling? Go and lick the occasional window? While I do me stand-up, pretend I'm Rosie Jones? Lop a leg off and just bounce around the stage like an angry fucking pirate? Unfortunately, with this accent, that could probably work. It also means I have to go through some rather intensive, invasive psychotherapy, and it's freaking painful, people. Not the talking about dark stuff and admitting the stuff that I've done, the stuff I've seen. It's my psychotherapist, the problem. Because she's fucking gorgeous. Boys, have you ever tried to do talking therapy when you've got a semi? I mean, she's there turning around to me, but as we go through this stuff, you will end up with some intrusive images. If only she knew the images I was seeing at that precise moment would have been censored on fucking Pornhub. And by the way, ladies, if you ever want a bloke to agree to something, ask them when they've got a semi. Yeah, because that's when it works. When it's flaccid, our minds are our own, you ain't talking to us, we've got our own minds. When it's fully deployed, there's one thing on our mind, and you ladies don't fucking want it. But when there's a semi-bubbling down there, yeah, the blood's being starved from the brain because Mr. Wiggle and his two marble companions want all the attention, that is when we are vulnerable. So ladies, you want us, that's when you ask us. I mean, I don't even have to worry about that stuff. I mean, how am I going to get myself a woman? PTSD is never going to attract a woman to me, is it? Plus, let's have a look at the obvious visual problems I've got. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got a mirror. I am fully aware that I'm a visual contraceptive. The only way I'm going to be described as a catch is accompanied by the words chlamydia and syphilis. I mean, even Gabe turned around to me and went, mate, your order would be delivered if you ordered Christopher Walken on Wish. And then it's also the fact, the availability of women that I'm going to be attracted to. Ladies and gentlemen, I live in a place called Gosport. If you've never heard of it, that's a very good sign that your parents aren't biologically related. It's an exceptionally shallow gene pool. You open Tinder in Gosport and you think you're playing Pokemon Go. You're there with Squirtle, Weezing, Magikarp. You spent 5 minutes sweeping on that app, you think you're casting the next episode of Resident fucking Evil. And then top it off, I mean, talking about dating apps. I live in this marina, right, and I've got plenty of gay mates in there. They even tried to they actually did put me on Grindr to see if I had some fucking options. Turns out I'm bisexual. Because I'm repulsive to both genders. And then top it off, this sexy accent's really doing me great favours, isn't it? Hey? Did me great stuff in the Royal Navy. A lieutenant commander that sounds like Wurzel Gummidge. And no woman in the throes of passion wants to hear the phrases, oh my lover, that feels delightful. Keep doing that, it feels girlish. You're so much better than my sister! And then people keep on telling me, like, you could do a great pirate impression. I'm not that talented, I can't even do a Birmingham accent. How the fuck am I going to be able to do a Somalian one? Then the other question I get, because I'm doing stand-up comedy, they go, PTSD, doesn't that give you mass anxiety? Why the hell are you doing stand-up comedy? Well, it's a simple answer, isn't it? Because I'm fucking mental. Plus I was lured into it with this, allure that there's going to be sex, drugs, and rock and roll. My reality has ended up being masturbation, medication, and listening to Radio 4. Don't knock it, there's amazing comedy on Radio 4. But no, the real reason I do stand-up comedy is because I do it for my recovery. I do loads of other activities for my recovery now. As you might guess by the shirt I'm wearing, I'm a really lucky bloke. I've just been selected to be part of Team UK, going to the Invictus Games this year in Dusseldorf. First time I've got to wear the Union flag on my shoulder again since I was discharged from the service. For those of you that don't know what the Invictus Games are, how do I describe it? It's like the Special Olympics for all the toys the militaries have broken over the years. I mean, it turns out I'm competing against a chieftain tank. Like me, it's had its turret blown off. The difference is the army are willing to buy a new turret. I'm only flesh and blood. They're not willing to repair me. No, come on, I'm used to that. The ladies in the room would agree. I don't even have the trading value on fucking Tinder. No, it's an international sporting event watched by sickos, basically. People wanting to watch a bunch of spackers like me trying to do sports. People that would normally turn around to my carer and ask if I take sugar in the tea. Those people who watch Channel 5 documentaries about people with no arms and legs, because the only question they've got is, how the fuck do they wipe their arse? I went to my first Invictus Games training camp, when I got selected, and I was rather disgusted because the first thing they did to me was fitted me for my foam helmet and a dribble bib. The worst part about that was after I got fitted, they asked me what my fucking disability was. No, it's framed there to be, enable my therapy, because if I do sports, then that will take me into the psychotherapy. I've literally become an organ grinder's monkey. I feel as though it's going to turn around to me and go, come on, dance mental boy. Dance sexy for me and we'll get you a psychotherapist. Get the dog to dance, we'll get you a really good psychotherapist. I mean, I feel as though the only way I'm going to get a proper psychiatrist now is if I win a gold fucking medal. I've literally entered the veterans version of the fucking Hunger Games. Ironically, I'm competing in archery. Some of the words of Katniss Everdeen, I thank you for your consideration. No, I'm being horribly cruel. I'm being horribly cruel. It's far more like the Paralympics. And I'm competing with some amazing people. So when we compete in September, I promise you they will inspire you. But it's vital that I take the piss. I've got to take the piss. PTSD is scary, it's disturbing, people don't like talking about it. That's why stand-up comedy is so amazing. We can end up talking about horrible things, bring the humour in, and then we can bring it into conversation. I'll give you a random example of that. Have you heard my domestic abuse joke? That's right, no you fucking haven't. You end up taking the darkness, you turn it into fucking humour so we have a conversation. I mean, for fuck's sake, it was the military that broke me, but I'm now reliant on charities to fix me. I mean, I'm doing the Invictus Games, that should be owned by the Ministry of Defence. But they've handed it all over to the Royal British Legion. They got to plan it, they got to program it, they got to pay for it. The Invictus Games is officially a Boris bike. Planned and paid for by one person, and all the credit given to some random fuck with silly hair, and he takes all the fucking credits. Although that's unfair because the haircuts in the Ministry of Defence are far better because we've got trust regulations. Poor old Boris couldn't even regulate his own fucking cock, could he? No, but I'm going to go out, I'm going to compete, I'm going to keep on doing my stand-up comedy for my recovery because, do you know what, I would want to get back on the dating game again. I do know what my biggest limitation is, however. Hawk. My dog is my biggest limitation. Yes, I know he's gorgeous. Yes, I know you all want to pet him. He's better looking than me. Am I wrong? You didn't need to answer so fucking quickly. I mean, if he gets his lipstick out, you're just going to laugh. I get mine out, I get arrested again. There's this rumour that certain ladies go out with larger, less attractive friends with them to nightclubs to gain advantage, yeah? I go out with Hawk, I'm officially the fat slag. The worst thing for me is that in the last 12 months, I've been asked 3 times if I'm willing to put them up for stud. Do you get the irony of that for me? In the last 12 months, this dog has been offered more sex than I have in the last 4 years. And if he gets it, he's getting paid. So I'm not only officially mental now, I'm now officially a Labrador's pimp. But I'm still trying. Recently I just turned 54. And I've set new rules and I'm now trying to date women of my own age. And I keep on getting exactly the same rejection every single time. No, I was looking for somebody younger. Turns out women of my pedigree want to become cougars. And I get that, ladies come into their prime later in life, don't they? They want something with a few miles left on the clock. Not this broken down old wreck with a very poor service history record. So it would turn out that the only way I'm going to get myself a date now is if I become a toy boy. I sat down and did the maths, calculator deployed, And it would turn out that my ideal girlfriend is currently triple jabbed in a care home somewhere. So that's left me with two options now. I can either give up on dating, or I can become an OA pedo. So if any of you know any more mature ladies that are into Labradors and Werther's Originals, can you send them in my direction, please? You ladies and gentlemen have been absolutely fantastic. Give yourselves a round of applause first, because you've been absolutely amazing. But also, can you follow on the applause for my two amazing colleagues that I've been working? Number one, you saw Jamie Johnson. And you saw Gabriel Murphy. There's Jamie Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Project Comedy. We are helping people recover from significant military trauma, and our job is to get out there and encourage other wounded veterans to get into comedy, get confidence to do something as scary and silly as getting on this stage. I mean, I've survived 7 suicide attempts now, and this is keeping me alive. As Gabe pointed out to me, I'm better at stand-up comedy than I am at suicide, so I'm going to keep on going that way. But can I point out to you, it is a donation show. So there's a general rule about donation shows. I don't know if you've heard about it. Yeah, what you do is you think about the show on a scale of 1 to 10. Yeah, this seems like a fair way to balance things out here. If you thought it was a 10 out of 10 show, stick a 10 in our bucket. If you thought it wasn't such a great show, let's imagine you were grading it somewhere between 6 and 9. Stick a 10 in our fucking bucket. But then again, I mean, if you thought the show was absolutely shit, stick 20 quid in the bucket, because we need to get better. You folks have been absolutely delightful. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you to all and all of us. Thank you.
Cheers guys, thanks a lot. I'm just getting flashbacks with this lovely teal colour in the hotel room. Yeah, the water slide facilities at the hotel, it was so run down. Waterboarding was preferable to go down the water slide. It's like the beer. The beer was that watered down. I thought the barmen were from Al Qaeda. They didn't call last orders. They didn't ring last orders. They had a call to prayer. But anyway, thanks again. As Jay's just pointed out, it's hard work writing all these jokes. You think we're making it up, and we are. But seriously, mental health. Just take one thing away from this evening. Mental health is a serious problem, as much a problem as your physical well-being. So please, 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 if you struggle, it's okay to not be okay. And if you reach out to one person and talk to them, then that's the win. Thanks, guys. Have a great evening.
Thank you, as long as you remember me. Remember I said as well, I had one last gay joke. I was often described as a bear, and that stands for big, erogenous, and rarey. That's the other thing I hate about acronyms as well, they shoehorn words in to just make it fit. Ironically, a bear often shoehorns himself in to just make himself fit. Hi guys, all the best.